quick and to the point. So I want to officially thank everybody who came through this evening. NEZ. That's basically what you enter into when you walk into these doors. It's a no excuse zone. Pretty much, because everybody has excuses not to do certain things, including myself. But I learned that Black on Black Crime Incorporated is definitely a no excuse zone. The reason I can say that is snowstorms. I remember, and I know Judy remembers, Brother Ted, Miss Commentary Cleveland. It was cold outside, but that didn't stop the ring around the Justice Center. Didn't have an excuse not to be there. Just like 137 shots, the anniversary of Timothy Russell, Melissa Williams murder. And it's usually cold. And there has been no reason for me personally. So I talk about my own personal excuses not to be there, or for the Hayes not to come through and bring flowers or a wreath for that. The East Cleveland, they talked about it tonight. If I know that something is corrupt in East Cleveland, like you have a corrupt mayor and a corrupt city council president, Brother Ernest Smith can at least validate the fact that I didn't use the weather as an excuse not to get out there and help with that recall, which led up to the reason why the Dialog Center had East Cleveland people of power come in here this evening. Or the fact that Department Children Family Services will be out there in the cold again. Going back to when Donna Walker Brown spent the night out there in the blizzard, in the cold weather, over our children. Or the fact that we spent the night outside when they were closing down schools in Cleveland, Ohio a few years back. Rain. Rain sure didn't stop us from being out there at the school board or the school system during the time that they were at least attempting to get rid of the school board building downtown Cleveland. The rain didn't stop us from being out there years ago when Donna Walker Brown and others thought it was important. When Bashir Jones had been let go from Radio 1. And it was a thunderstorm that day, and it rained. And Jihad showed up for Bashir Jones, but Bashir Jones didn't even show up for the walk that we did out there for him being ousted. It's just the truth. The sunshine. We live in Cleveland, so it can be 90 degrees, 95 degrees. That didn't stop us from going out there to clean up the Imperial Avenue lot where weeds and everything else had infested. And Judy and others came out there, and we, along with the Brown Report newspaper, we mowed the lawn, we cleared it out, we cleared out the debris, because we don't go by excuses. We even got out there in the hot sun to let people know why they needed to get rid of the red light, speed light cameras in the city of Cleveland, and we were successful in that. But it took us getting out there and getting signatures because we knew that the lights were unconstitutional, because you went in front of a traffic court agent instead of a municipal judge. No holiday stops us from getting out there, especially on East 92nd and Wade Park, where we went out there on New Year's Day because of a murder of around 5 people, and we demanded that the killers be found. Going to Armand Budish house on New Year's Eve. Going out on New Year's Eve to Donna Brady, who is no longer the city council person in Cleveland, Ohio, because we went out there, several of us, to her house when she went to close a homeless shelter. And no pandemic, vigils are still going on. The fact that we went outside to deal with the gas stations not sanitizing properly. We went out there to deal with violence at the gas stations and the barber's shop pledge when we went out there. It was all during the pandemic. So with that being said, I'm in a no excuse zone.
And the dump?
And the dump. The dump was handled in the wintertime, in the sunshine. It didn't matter when. Dantes, I thank you for reminding me. Now, I will say that I don't live in an excuse zone. Now, sometimes we have valid reasons or legitimate reasons why we can't make it to certain things. Valid and legitimate reasons might be family, emergency, work, but there are a lot of times I'm forced by my position that if I am working, I might have to take off from work because I am a member of an active organization. But I want to let you know, if you have valid reasons, sometimes your valid reason might be called an excuse by somebody else because you're not doing what they want you to do. So you have to at least be able to internalize, know your reasons, be true to self, and not let what naysayers say dictate your life. Because again, sometimes everything's not in your best interest. But for me personally, I can promise you that from my position, I am not in an excuse zone. I can't use excuses. Because once I do, then it means it invalidates what this group does. This group does not live by excuses. We live by action. We live by getting out. We live by making sure our community rises up, because it's a no excuse zone when you enter into this room. So if I do come down hard on certain people, it might be because they're coming inside to give us excuses that we don't need. Because if we had taken excuses, we wouldn't be doing half the work that we do. That's it, period, point blank. We can end this off. I thank you all for coming through. Brother Ted, take us out in prayer, please.